What's up, Packer Nation? It's Night Train Lane here, and we're going to talk about the game from yesterday, Saints and Packers, and there's a lot to learn from it. Packers came back from 17-0 in the fourth quarter and won 18-17. Crazy game. Derek Carr got hurt in that game, which sucks for Saints fans because I know how good he was, and you guys probably would have won the game if he was still playing, to be realistic. But it's at the end of the day, it's a football game. Next man up. That's just the mentality and the sport you got to live with. But what I took away from this game is that Saints should be fine. They might have problems with James Winston if they're not able to get chemistry going, if they're not able to get the certain flow that they have with Derek Carr. Then that might be an issue with their offense. But they should be fine since Alvin Kamara is coming back pretty soon, I believe. But that defense, still a good defense. Only allowed, 3 touchdowns this season? But again, you cannot have that type of collapse if you're the Saints. You can't. You can't have the offense on your fingertips the entire game and then just in your palm of your hand all game and then just let it go. You can't do that because then teams can take, like they did that against the Chiefs. Chiefs would have had like 20, 30 points within that quarter. You can't do that. They let their foot off the gas. With the Packers side of things, a lot of positives, a lot of negatives. I'm going to say some positives first before we get to the negatives. Jordan Love looked great in that fourth quarter. He looked like the guy. He looked poised. He looked like that pressure wasn't getting to him. And he just kept making plays. And that's what you need from a starting quarterback, or the guy, if that's what we want to say, to play like that. Awesome. Just awesome. And Romeo Dobbs made some great catches. Jake Reed made some great catches. And freaking defense played phenomenal in that second half. Didn't allow a single point. Sean Gary, he's back. He's a beast. 3 sacks. Let's go. And this defense just stood their ground. They didn't let anything happen. They didn't let any big plays happen, really. And they really took over the game in the second half. Now, and also, before I get to negatives again, I almost forgot to say this. The fact that Jordan Love can do this without his best help players healthy, with Jair, Elton, David Bakhtiari, Christian Watson, and Aaron Jones, along with Campbell, who got hurt during the game, being all out, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty damn impressive. And it makes me really excited to see what he can do when he has these weapons. Now, the negatives, what I picked up, our running game is so bad without Aaron Jones. I'm sorry. Manuel Wilson's okay. A.J. Dillon, I love the guy. Don't get me wrong. Mayor of Door County, love him from here. But at the end of the day, he's not really producing or bringing any value to the team besides just a good locker room, just a good guy to have around. He's not that good at blocking. He's definitely not a good runner, like he should be. It just sucks. And I can see the Packers drafting a running back in this upcoming season within the first 3 rounds. But that's a whole different story. Our run game's just got to be better. Our health has got to be better. Too many guys are getting hurt. I think Zach Tom got hurt a while in the process, so that's going to be another issue. Guys got to stay healthy. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if we're going to get hit with the injury bug. Hopefully not. But this just sucks in the beginning of the season to get all these injuries right now. And then Jordan Love cannot play like that in the first 3 quarters. The way he was playing, you were like, ain't no fucking way we drafted this guy. That's how bad he was playing. He was making too many overthrows. He threw a pick. He threw a throw that should have been a pick when he threw it into triple coverage, which, what are you doing? There were too many throws that he missed with guys who were open, and it was dumb. And then along with that, he just looked like he was panicking. He was rattled. It just looked like he was very, very uncomfortable again. The same feeling that we saw with him in the Falcons when the Falcons started, making things harder for him. But that's what I did like, is that he did learn how to overcome that. He did learn how to turn around with that defense and get used to that uncomfortable feeling. That's what separates quarterback to a quarterback that gets paid. You know what I mean? They're able to make plays in uncomfortable situations, and that's what Jordan Love did. So that's awesome that he's growing from that. It's very awesome. But again, cannot play like that again. Because if you do that against it, let's say you do this against the Lions this week, that ain't gonna work. The Lions are too good of a team, too talented, too well coached to be fucking up like that. So we definitely gotta clean that up. We gotta clean that up. And defense, I know the Saints probably should have ran the ball more, but I still see that issue. They can't stop the run game. I know they didn't have that much of a run game today, but because they didn't run the ball that much. There were still signs where they let the dude get too many good runs, and it's still triggering me. We cannot do that. We cannot let the run game take over games. We can't. And then the last thing I want to talk about is this fucking undisciplined football. If we didn't come back in that game, that would have been the number one reason why I was so pissed off, was because there were too many penalties. We had, 12, 11, 10 penalties for 60 yards in the first half. That's bad. You cannot be doing that. Matt LaFleur, make sure, even though we won, make sure you preach that, because that's too much undisciplined football happening. There should not be that many false starts, illegal shifts, holds, offsides, any of that. Any of that. That's just ridiculous. You're not going to win a game like that if you have that many penalties again. I know they're young. I know that's probably why. But you cannot do that. Penalties should not be coming out every day. Boom, 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 boom. It's like you were just a magnet to it in the first half. I bet the magnet kind of shifted to the Saints a bit, but we cannot do that. Not again. So I hope this week of football that's stressed enough about being disciplined, especially for the offense side, because most of those penalties came from the offense. They got to be disciplined. They got to talk about it. That's definitely got to be a thing they discuss. But other than that, that's really much as I took away from this game. I'll make another video about the Lions game and the Packer game probably Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll have to decide. But that should be a good game. That should be a battle. And Packers got to be ready, because this upcoming game, so far, it's probably going to be the hardest game they have so far this season. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and go Pack Go.